if you're someone that doesn't want to go to school and you do want to pursue YouTube, you should definitely know all the things that entails. Because for a lot of people, they think that YouTube is turn on a camera, you just talk, people watch your videos, and you become famous. And it takes a very long time. For some people, you think it would take 4 or 5 years, and then you're just there, you're just automatically famous. But that's not even close to all that YouTube is. Not even fucking close. Realistically, what YouTube is saying that I am now a walking billboard for myself, or I am a storefront for myself. As far as I have to be my own manager, my own therapist, my own team. I have to be an actor. I have to be an editor. I have to be charismatic and in a good mood, or upbeat, or creative. You have to be unbelievably creative. Like, you have no idea. It's not like you just turn on a camera and just start going. I'll say for myself, it might look like that's what I do now, but if you've been here in the past and you've seen my old videos, I'm not someone who just turned on the camera and that's just like, okay guys, here we go. This is it. From this point forward, I'm now a professional. I now know how to make eye contact with the camera for a very long time. I now know how to talk with my hands and be charismatic, or not stumble over my words and say and like be looking over here, because I don't want you guys to look at me because I'm scared and I'm shy, but like at the same time I want to do this, but also I don't want to be judged. But that was not the first day. I promise you that. That's part of it. That's only part of it. On top of doing content creation as a job, most of what I do is off the camera. Most of it is conversations with people, networking with them, as far as trying to get collabs going, or having people's ideas and formulating them into videos and having it make sense, answering questions, right? Dealing with trolls is a big part of it as well too. And on top of YouTube, it's also being on Twitter, or being on Discord, or being on Twitch, or being on TikTok, or any of these other platforms to try and grow yourself as an entity. Because at this day and age, just being a YouTuber doesn't work. And I mean, like, just being a YouTuber. You have to be on everything. Same thing with being on Twitch. There's a reason why you will see people who have been streaming on Twitch for years with 1 to 2 viewers. So, well, why is this? It's like, because they didn't flesh out the rest of their character. Nobody knows or cares about them. Not because they are a bad person or they aren't worthy of being cared about, but actually, no one knows they exist. Like for myself, and I'll say this is a throwback at this point. When I first started doing content creation in general, like before I was Tricks from Meta Smash, I was just a guy who wanted to do YouTube, just like yourself. And the first thing I did, actually before I even did YouTube, this is even further back, I wanted to be a streamer. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to do what I'm currently doing right now and be able to talk to people and have conversation and interact, whatever you want to call it. That's what I wanted to do. The very first day that Ultimate came out, the very first day that I went to stream and I saw the amount of people that had 1 to 2 viewers, I just looked at that and I thought to myself, there's literally no fucking way. There's no way I can do this. I don't mean there's no way because I'm not good enough, but there was no way that this would be the way to the top. I knew that immediately. And that's when I started the YouTube channel. Because in order to actually try and make it in social media, you have to be able to garner attention. You have to be able to have people come and look at you, or care about you, or listen to whatever your message is, and not have the distractions of saying, oh, this person's not even here right now. He's in the washroom, or he's not here right now. He's, I don't know, doing something else. He's playing a game I don't care about, or he's not talking, so he's not interesting, or he's whatever. He's in a bad mood, and I don't want to talk to this person or watch their stream because they're not in the mood or playing the game or whatever it is that I want. So I'm just dipping. So since the probability that is so high with something that is live, it's incredibly hard to try and build an audience without some sort of legacy or fame or money or something like that to start yourself off. Anybody at this point in time who is a world-class or world-renowned content creator of any kind, especially as a streamer, they did something else first. This is super important. They did something else first. They were a professional esports player. They were an actor or musicians. They're famous somehow. They're on the Ellen show. I don't know. I think I said they were an esports player. They're some sort of professional at something. They might have been an influencer from another avenue. So maybe they were like a fitness model or something. They did something first, and then they brought that to their stream. So when they turn the stream on, people come to them because the people care about them. Why do people care about them? Because they've done something first. They've provided some sort of value or put up some sort of stats, or they won some sort of tournament or got some sort of sponsor, or they're in the limelight in some way. For now, people to be like, I want to be close to this person. I care about this person. I think they're cool. I want them to care about me. You have to do that. It has to be done. With regards to doing YouTube, it can be done, but it has to be done with a strategy. What I mean by that is you can't just put out videos forever and hope something happens. There's a strategy with your thumbnails, there's a strategy with your titles, there's a strategy with your content, as far as what are you actually going to put on the screen. It has to do also with the quality of your content, whether it's a good microphone, a good camera, your backdrop, your physical aesthetic as far as yourself, the game that you're going to play. All these things matter. And you really do have to split hairs when it comes to this, because everyone's trying to do it. And if it didn't matter, then everyone would be famous. And if everyone was famous, then the value of being famous or being looked at or having those numbers wouldn't matter. If every single person on YouTube had 100,000 subs, 100,000 subs would be the new 0 subs. People are like, oh, I have 100,000 subs. I just woke up and I have this. Like, who cares? So I guess this is like a long backstory to say, as far as if you were to be a content creator instead of going to school, I don't want you to think for a single second that this is easier than going to school. It's not. The amount of people that think, oh, all you do, so you just play video games all day. That's pretty cool. Tell me about that. It's like, that's not all I do, bro. I basically don't even play video games at this point. And all the video game playing that I have done has been through the realm of education and execution and tremendous pressure to be better than every single person that I'm trying to educate. And on the scale that I'm at for this point, or at this point, the amount of people that I've coached that I have had to been better than is insurmountable. Every single time I start a coaching session, I believe that there's a possibility that I'm about to coach someone who is better than me. So in order for that to not happen, I have to always be at the top of my game, or as much as I possibly can be at the top of my game. Whether or not somebody actually is better than me or not is irrelevant. It's the fact that there's a possibility that can happen, and it can ruin your reputation. This guy sucks. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy doesn't know his frame data. This guy's giving me some bullshit advice, just making shit up. He doesn't know what he's doing. And that can ruin you. So on top of having all the performance that you have to have, all the skills that you have to have, the work ethic that you have to have, there's also a tremendous amount of stress that you put yourself under in order to actually accumulate or get the thing that you want as far as being a content creator. This is the truth about being a content creator. It's never just turn on a camera and everyone thinks you're beautiful and loves you. That's not how it is. I'll even say that's not how it is for girls. They have it easier for sure, but it's still not even like that for them. There's still a certain level of expectation for anybody at all with regards to doing content creation. So another thing too, on top of all of that as well, is you don't get a certificate for doing content creation. It's not like, oh, I've been doing content creation for 4 years. Here's my thing that says I'm this good. Because you can do content creation for years and never hit 100,000 subs. Never get any sort of brand deal, never get any sort of sponsor, not even get good numbers. You might not even get like a lot of subs on your channel, period. So it's not like, oh, I walked away. At least I have this certificate where if I go to some social media company, they'll just hire me. No. You could be doing content creation for 10 years, never hit 100,000 subs, never get a gold plaque or a silver plaque, never get any of that shit. So I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm more so saying that if you think that you want to do this, you have to know all the things that comes with it. On top of that as well, for myself, I don't do content creation for 5 to 6 hours, 3 times or 2 times a week and call myself a YouTuber. For me, at the level that I want to be at, it's basically all day, every day, for years. And I'll say it again. It's all day, every day, for years. How many years? All of them. Until the end of time. Because this is what I wanted to do. How long do I stay up? If you can see, you can ask Udon, you can ask Heavens, you can ask anybody that I've ever played with or coached or anything at all, ever. Every single day. And this is just me, okay? As far as how the caliber that I want to be at. Every single day, I'm up until 5 or 7 in the morning every single day. Of course, I could just shift my whole day back, But as far as when I'm executing, that's what I'm doing. So as far as, let's say, as soon as I get home from the gym and eat, I'm immediately on streaming for however many hours, getting off of stream, going through the stream, grabbing all the best parts of it, cutting it up, turning it into videos, whether it's coaching session videos, which I've at this point put out over 600 coaching videos, or if it's TikToks, which are now separate from shorts because the shorts are smash related, whereas the TikToks are relationship and dating related, and they're both completely different. I'm uploading on both different platforms. I'm doing this all by myself, literally all of it by myself. I have had help in the past, whether it was Coltman or Zepic or Juice or Mage or Swigs or any of those other people, but they've either moved on to do their own things, which is totally fine, or they lost interest, which is also totally fine. A huge part of it as well is being an entrepreneur, or a big part of being an entrepreneur is knowing that you are the only person that you have. That's it. You don't have someone to just turn to and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna not do this. Can you do this? By the way, I'm not gonna pay you because I want you to care about my life and my livelihood and my success as much as I do. And just do it. That's not how it works. So if you can't afford to pay people, or you're trying to save so you don't pay people and you're putting your own sweat equity into your own craft by yourself, then it's an insane amount of work. And like I said as well too, doing all of this, everything that I just said, with a smile, while being happy, while being able to laugh, while still being engaging and interesting for you guys, and not just dying, falling asleep all day because there's nothing else that I'd want to do more than be asleep. It's like, that's what it's really like. All of that shit is what it's really like to be a content creator. And if you're like, oh, that sounds pretty extreme, it's like, well, if you do stuff that is extreme, then you get extreme results. There's a reason why I had the fastest growing Smash Ultimate YouTube channel in 2019. There's a reason why I was an S tier Metafy coach in under a year, meaning I was top 3 coaches in the entire site in under a year. If you want those results, if you want extreme results, you have to put in extreme work. It just boils down to that. So as far as, like I said, if you were to not go to school because you want to do YouTube because you think it's easier, you're wrong. And I guess the last part of it as well too, when I said you are the only person that you have, no one will make you do YouTube. Nobody makes you do it, bro. Nobody cares if you quit. Nobody cares if you do it. And no one's going to wake you up or knock on your door or call you and say, hey, you haven't posted, you haven't streamed, you should update your thumbnails, you should do some different ideas for your videos because they're not working. Nobody tells me any of that shit ever. It's like, if I want to do anything at the level that I want to, I have to figure it out and I have to push myself to do it every single time. No one has told me, change these things, do this instead, post at this time of day, post this many times a day, have this persona, have these different social media platforms, use this strategy. No one has said that stuff to me. You can try and get a mentor, I'm sure. But even then, it's like, okay, can you afford a mentor? Maybe you can. If you can afford a mentor, you can probably afford a team. In which case, you probably don't have to even do this. If you have enough money to do all that shit, you probably don't have to be a content creator unless you want to just do it for fun. Hearing you talk about the how you talk to people and how the decisions you made to get where you are now is really inspirational. I appreciate that, bro. It's like a major burden of having everyone love you. That's the thing too, bro. This might sound a little bit sad, but a lot of the time when I'm doing my content creation, it does not feel like anybody loves me. It feels like I'm just doing this. And if I don't do exactly what people want, they let you know that they don't love you, bro. It's like all the things that I just said, that's all already insanely fucking hard to do and perform at the highest of high levels. And that's when things are going perfect, as far as no fighting, no trolls, no arguing of any kind, nobody telling you that you suck or that you're a bad YouTuber or that your videos suck or that you shouldn't be changing to do a different type of content. You have to do what you've always done because as the consumer, I'm never wrong. It's like, those are all just obstacles that you have to just get around. And for a lot of people, they don't have thick enough skin to do content creation. They don't have thick enough skin to wake up and be like, oh, I wonder what people are going to say about this video today. Hopefully they don't say I should kill myself, or hopefully they don't say that you're ugly, or that you suck, or that wasn't funny, or this was useless information, or go back to Smash because X, Y, and Z X, Y, and Z reason. It's like, that's every day. That actually is every single day. So if you are someone who can do all that stuff that I've already said, and then also have thick enough skin to deal with people that are going to say fuck you basically every single day, then yeah, sure, it's worth. I'll say this as well too. At the very least, the main upside of becoming a content creator or doing anything social media related is that the potential for how much money that you could possibly make, I'm not going to say it's infinite, but it's pretty damn close. There are content creators out there that are making thousands upon thousands of dollars a day just for putting out videos, just for doing podcasts, just for entertaining for a little bit. That's all they do. That's totally fine. So there is definitely upside. There's definitely upside as far as also working your own hours. It's also performance based to say, if you want to work this hard, then this is what you can get out of it. If you don't want to work that hard, then this is what you get out of it. If you want to start making $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month or whatever your goal happens to be, then you have to work that hard. This is what it is. It's also ultra competitive. It's also a sliding scale as well. Just because I'm relevant or saying things that you guys care about or providing the content that you guys want to watch right now doesn't mean that your guys' mind's not going to change. Doesn't mean that the content is not going to get stale and you aren't going to get bored. Like, there's all types of different variables that I have to worry about and think about all the time as well too, where it's like, oh, I can put out, let's say at the beginning of time, I can put out Smash Ultimate videos on Falco, and it doesn't matter what I do, the video will always do well. Then there'll be a certain threshold where it's like, okay, we've seen all of this. We don't care about this. We want to see something new. Okay, we got DLC. We'll talk about DLC and watch that until it's the same situation. Now there's no more DLC. So what's special in the world of Smash now? Fucking nothing, bro. And it has been nothing for a very long time. So as a content creator, you have to make the executive decision for yourself to say, okay, so if there's nothing new right now and I still want to do content, how do I maximize my efforts or optimize my efforts so that I'm not putting out videos and just pushing rocks uphill and putting out content that no one cares about, no one wants to see? Well, that's why I said the executive decision to change up what you're doing is entirely the burden of yourself. As far as if I make a decision to change stuff, it does not mean that it's going to be the right decision. It does not mean that anybody's actually going to give a shit about what I want to do. As a matter of fact, if I ever switch out of my niche, for the most part, not as of late, thank the Lord, but for a very long time in the past, I put out a post yesterday saying this, for the first time in 3 years, I've decided to switch out of my main niche and people are actually supporting it. So imagine trying to switch things up and be creative and change your content for 3 years. And that entire time, everyone is like, no, 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 also no. That's where the thick skin comes in. To say, I don't care if it's no. I don't care if it's no, because for me, it's yes. For me, it's I want to continue doing this, and I will find the people that say yes. There's a quote from a keynote speaker named Eric Thomas, and you might know him. The quote was, don't go, or no, it's not don't go, it's go where you are appreciated, not tolerated. Actually, what he doesn't say appreciated, he says go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. So whatever it is that you want to do, and I'm trying to be all inspirational at this point, but I guess whatever it is that you want to do, there will always be people that hate your ideas and think that you suck and don't want to support you. And on the flip side of it, there will also be people that love your ideas and love you and want to support you and want to see you do as well as you possibly can. And for me, just knowing that has been more than enough for me to try and push through this glass ceiling that is my Smash Ultimate YouTube algorithm that says if it's not Smash and it's not Falco and it's not Pyramithra and it's not Joker and it's not MKLeo, I don't give a damn. That's how it's been for a very long time. So for me, I finally had that push or breakthrough with my students or viewers where I can talk about other things that are a little bit more realistic or a little bit more real or authentic, which I've wanted to do for a very long time. I'm a very authentic person. That's why I don't like to hold back shit. I want you guys to be able to hear the truth because these are things that I wish I had for myself for a very long time, whether it was a father figure that did these things, or a family member that did these things, or a brother that did these things. For a lot of you guys, if you don't have that, then it's like you will never hear it. If you don't look for it, you will never hear it. And for myself, I feel like I've been put in a position at this point where it's like I know for a fact I have a lot of people in my audience that have never had these conversations ever. Not even with a friend on a night where they're just drinking on a pier at the fucking cottage, just talking about life. They don't have these conversations. So for me, it's like, you know what? Whether or not you want to have these conversations or not, I do, and I will. So this is why we're talking about it. Hopefully that makes sense. I have a few projects I've been trying to put together, and I'm the type of guy to procrastinate all the time because I can never find inspiration, but every now and again I'll think about it. If you're ever the type of person that can't find inspiration, or like you have, let's say you procrastinate, there's like I guess a way I could say this is like there's two different routes. The number one thing is that it doesn't matter how much you prepare yourself, you will never be prepared enough to put out your first video and think it's actually perfect. As part of being a creative or an artist or even a perfectionist in general, is that it doesn't matter how good you are, you will never think you're good enough. So as I've said in the past, you have to crash and burn your way to the top. That's what I've done. Crash and burn my way to the top. Fuck up as much stuff as I possibly can until there's nothing left to fuck up. That's basically it. That's my thoughts with regards to getting started with content creation and saying, well, I suck at this thing and that's okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to learn as I go. That's the first part of it. And the other part of it too is this is where it gets dangerous. And I've known this for myself with regards to procrastinating is that, and I said this earlier, if you don't push yourself to do this stuff, nobody will ever. Your parents are not going to call you up. Your girlfriend's not going to call you up. Your best friend's not going to call you up and be like, hey man, you said you're going to start a YouTube channel. Where are the videos at? Did you not learn how to use Photoshop or Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve or whatever? You didn't learn how to use these things? Why haven't you done this yet? You said you were going to. No one gives a fuck ever. And that's possibly the best thing and the scariest thing at the same time. It's the best thing because there's no pressure on you, but it's the scariest thing because there's no pressure on you, which means if you do it or you don't, it doesn't matter. So you have to do it for yourself. At the end of the day, you have to decide for yourself, is this something that I want more than my desire to hang out or lay in bed or just chill every single day forever? Because like I was saying before with regards to going to school, there's going to be a point in time where you look back and you say, wow, I did all of this. I created all of this. I left my mark on social media or in my friend's life, or my family's life, or I leveled up myself in a way that nobody could ever take away from me ever for the rest of time. Because I decided to not procrastinate. I'm not going to say that you're never going to feel like you don't want to do it every single day. You're not going to be motivated for the rest of time. But this is where a certain level of discipline has to be bestowed upon yourself, as far as, even if I don't feel like it, I'm still going to do it. Even if I don't feel like going to the gym or going to make these certain videos or get on stream, get on camera, do any of these types of things. Even if I don't feel like it, I know that I have a greater duty that I have to serve to myself as far as the promise or the commitment that I made to myself in the first place when I started saying, I want to do this. So I'm going to discipline myself to continue to do this, even when I feel like garbage, even when my voice is gone, even when I have nothing to say, even when I'm fucking tired as hell, because that's the main goal. Because here's the thing, you will not be tired and miserable and have no voice and have nothing to say and feel unmotivated or uncreative forever. But if you do the work is there forever. So 5 years down the road or whatever it might be, you'll look back and be like, wow, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I was disciplined for those 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or whatever. Because it built habits within myself at this point where nobody can take this away from me now. All the knowledge that I have on this game, all the people's lives that I've affected, all the things I've learned as far as for business and content creation and coaching and how to conduct myself and social skills and all this stuff, you can't take that away from me. It's literally impossible. You can try to delete my channel. Sure, if you delete the channel, that's totally fine. But guess what? I still have all these skills and accolades and reputation that I've built up that can never be taken away. So maybe that's me just having, I guess, not even a great sense of, I guess it would be pride, but it's not even, it's pride in I guess it's integrity. Let's just say that. It's more that I have a very strong sense of integrity with regards to doing things and following through, regardless of how anybody's gonna fucking feel. So maybe you're someone who wants to get to that level, or maybe you're someone that doesn't have that for yourself just yet. But I can say that it's one of the most fulfilling things in the world when you actually succeed. When you actually say, I'm gonna do this thing, and it's like, wow, I actually fucking did it. I actually was successful. I actually didn't quit this time. I actually didn't get like booed off the stage to the point of like just giving up. So that your problem is decision making as far as you have too many things that you like. That's the thing about content creation too, bro. Is you got to be able to try and pick something that you're going to like doing for a super long time, but also it is worth doing. I had a student from a long time ago that I talked to him about, had nothing to do with Smash, but he had said that he wanted to do content creation, but he was going to pick something that had zero audience. It's like, bro, same thing with going to school. You can't pick something that gets 0 views, has an incredibly small audience, has no future in it. You have to pick something that is going to blow up, because you have to make it feel like your efforts are worth it as far as pushing rocks uphill, or rather than pushing rocks uphill forever. You want to be able to put yourself in a position to be like, I'm going to work this hard and it is going to work. It is going to be useful. It is going to be worth it. So if you, here's the thing, I'm sure you have many different hobbies or things that you like, and you could pick any of them and be happy with it, with what you're doing. That's exactly what it is. You have to just pick one. Something that Gary Vee has talked about for a very long time with regards to people who are paralyzed by the thought of picking the wrong thing. It's like, well, if you pick nothing, that's also the wrong thing. So if you're someone who's into fitness, then do fitness. If you're into music, then do music. If you're into painting or art or dancing or rapping or personal interactions or psychology or gaming or whatever it is, pick it. Just pick. Just go. It's literally all it is. And I know you might think to yourself, oh, well, I'm good at fitness, but like I like music more, but like music is hard and I don't know if I might run out of like things to do for music. So maybe I should do drawing or painting, but like, I don't know. Cause like it's another thing that's difficult to do. It's like, well, you got to just pick something, whatever you're passionate about that you can talk about for basically forever. And it has a large audience, then that's what you should do. In the case of myself, Smash had a large audience. It doesn't have like Steam numbers, so I can't tell you what the numbers are like now, but it's super fucking down bad compared to how it used to be. So that is what it is. It's rolling with the punches. It's evolving with the times, or moving on with the different trends. For myself, something that I've always been passionate in is people. Something I've always been passionate in is psychology. And like I've said before, I talked about in the past, the facial expressions and how to read people and tone of voice and understanding people as a whole. This is something that is a infinite topic that never gets old. People will always be curious about. There's always things to talk about within this. So yes, this makes sense for me to do, and it's something I can do forever. And it's like, you can be any person at all and care about this. It's not like, oh, this has nothing to do with this game that I care about, so I'm not watching it. It's not about this particular, I don't know, exercise or this niche thing, so I don't care. Everybody cares about people. Whether you care about relationships, or whether you care about friendships or family or marriages or kids or whatever it is. Making new friends, it doesn't matter. Any level at all, everybody cares about this particular topic. And this is why I want to go on this route. It's a strategic, smart move. And thankfully for me, I'm relatively educated on the topic, and it's something that I actually care about a lot. That's the thing. At the end of the day, just never give up. And that's the thing that's actually like insane with regards to doing content creation too, is that the number one way to become successful in content creation is to never give up. But at the same time, giving up is the easiest thing to do, because you just stop. Literally just stop. That's it. I'm I'm not in debt at all. I could literally just stop doing this immediately. It's like, okay, the money I've made is the money I've made. The channel is the channel. The videos are the videos. I'm done forever. Like I said, no one has a gun to my head saying I have to do anything. So I would say that's probably the hardest part about doing content creation amongst all the things that I said is not giving up. People will give up on anything. Like, you give up because you get out of a routine. Well, I'm giving up because, I don't know, I forgot to post on last Wednesday, and now it's just awkward that it's been 2 Wednesdays in a row, so I'm just gonna not post anymore. Oh, done. Like, no, don't do this. You know what my schedule is? All the time. That's my schedule, bro. When do you post? All the time. When do you stream? All the time. When do you work on new content? All the time. Do you have to do that? No, you don't have to do that. But that's what I do, because that's the level that I want to be at. That's the caliber of content and the influx of videos that I want to be able to put out at all times, versus saying that, oh, I just post once a week and I wonder why I'm not famous. Like, I looked around at the top YouTubers in the world and I think to myself, okay, what do they do that makes them the best? There's a lot of things that they do that makes them the best. Some of those things are legacy, as far as like they've been doing it for a very long time, and that's what makes them the best. Somebody like Casey Neistat or PewDiePie or Mr. Beast. The other part of it is having a shit ton of money, but they also didn't have the money from the beginning. And if it is about the money, it's like, okay, well, I can't just throw $1 million at a video and do like Hunger Games, the video or something like that, or whatever. Anything that Mr. Beast has done. I can't do that type of shit. But what can I do? Well, I can upload high quality videos, and I can also upload every single day. That's what I can do. So that's what I'm doing until I get to a point where I could be putting money into videos, or I could be advertising videos with a marketing budget, or I could be hiring multiple different editors or people to make thumbnails, or people to follow me around with a fucking camera and do all that other shit that these guys do, like Gary Vee does. It's like, but you have to start somewhere and then push on that particular topic or push on that particular avenue as much as you possibly can, until it's like, okay, wow, there's some traction here, there's some momentum here to say, now I can start to experiment a little bit, versus just being, I don't know, trapped at the bottom forever because all you do is post 1 video a week and then you forget, and then you forgot to edit it, so you just scramble and edit it, and then you forgot to do a thumbnail, so you do a shit thumbnail and you didn't think about it, and I didn't put a title when I posted it, so I gotta like take it down and then repost it and change the title, and like just be a disaster. It's like, no, you have to try and treat it like it's more than your job. Like, here's the thing, I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who's actually trying to make it for real, not someone who's like just doing it as a hobby. That's why I take it as seriously as I do. That's why I say you have to treat it like a job, or treat it like your life, whatever you want to call it. Because if you don't, then it's like, well, you're not going to get paid like it is. It's the same thing with like going to school. If you go to school and you don't treat it like school is your life, it's like, well, you're probably not going to get very good grades. You're not going to network, and you're not going to do much. You might not even finish the class or the program. It's like, you didn't take it that seriously. You didn't treat it like it was your life. Even for me right now, like, I don't know if you guys, or how many of you have been here since the beginning of this whole pop off of a rant, but I've been talking about this particular topic for about 35 minutes straight, and I've only breathed or stopped talking like 3 times. And if you're thinking to yourself that this is something that you could never do, I promise you on my life, this is something that I know I couldn't have done years ago, as far as having a conversation genuinely by myself. That's what I've been doing all this time. I'll look at chat, like a lot of the time I'll be missing chat and it kind of just goes right by. And I'll have to go back. But for the majority of the time, I'm literally just popping off, talking to myself, to you guys. There's no one interjecting, so I can collect my thoughts and like play off someone else's words or off their energy or emotion or whatever. Like, this is something that has been studied, trained, practiced, fucked up hundreds of times, bro. It's actually insane. And it's like, if you feel like you can't do this is what I was saying before. I didn't do this on the first day. If you were to go all the way back to the beginning of what I was just talking about, I said on the very first day, I did not sound or look like this as far as my ability to hold a conversation with myself fluently while holding eye contact with you guys and not stuttering and going and repeating myself 1,500 times and then like getting awkward and all this shit. It's trained into me at this point, because like I've said in the past as well too, this is an invaluable skill that can transfer into opportunity or money or whatever you want to call it. And it's something that can't be taken away from me. It's something that I've learned at this point. I've honed as a actual skill versus just saying, oh, it's my personality. And unfortunately, if my personality isn't this, then I'll never be charismatic, or I'll never be able to hold a conversation for this long. It's like it has to be learned. Just like talking to girls, just like trying to get good at interviews, just like anything at all. Even getting good at Smash, you have to practice getting good at Smash. You don't just play it forever and then say, why am I not better than MKLeo? I play for 12 hours a day. It's like, but you don't practice anything. You just play. You might even play on random. It's like, that's not anything, bro. Yeah, I'm just popping off. Honestly, bro, I'm probably gonna turn this into a video. And by probably, I mean I definitely am, because I haven't put any long form content on the channel in a long time. And by that I mean like 4 days. What? 4 days? Hasn't put out a long form video? This guy's slacking, bro. He's only put out 8 shorts instead. But he hasn't put out a single video? No, this guy's falling off. He's actually irrelevant, and he's trash. And a dumb bitch, probably. Yeah, Nico, I'm mega slacking. Aramis, I've given you the courage to start making your own stuff in the future. That's good to hear, bro. Very happy to hear that. But just damn. The shorts were clean? Yes, sir. Nothing quite like some clean shorts. What am I saying? People are still steadily unsubscribing to the channel as well, too. Which is totally fine. That's a big part of it as well, guys. It's a big part of doing content creation, where it's like, I'm putting out these videos, and if you guys are in here and you're enjoying this conversation, it's like a lot of people out there, they just see the face value and say, what? This isn't Smash? I'm out. You're not playing as Falco right now, and you don't want to talk to me about fucking Wolf's frame data? Leave. It's like, why don't you leave? You're like, okay. I'm like, okay. Sick. Good. I put out that video today, and I think I've lost like, what, 14 subs? It's like, oh well, kind of is what it is. It will reach the people that care about the message. Everybody else is too short-sighted or too shallow or whatever, then it kind of is what it is, and they leave.